Agenda approval. Do you have any additions? I'd like to add one to old business, Canellison's house. On the same page with that. What's going on with it?
What is it? Open house?
Canellison's down here. We had a flood in the
Oh,
south.
oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Any other additions? Get it.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public announcements. The public participation policy applies to all selectmen's meetings. A copy of it is on the back of each agenda posted in this meeting room and on our website. We will, I gotta wait 3 minutes to open the public hearing. Can I open it 3 minutes early? Okay. Take a 3-minute break. I have to wait till 6:05 to open it.
You could approve some minutes if you want.
We will go to selectmen's meeting minutes and approval.
Are you gonna come out of the recess?
I didn't go into recess because we didn't have a second.
Chairman,
I thought you said you were gonna take a break. Yeah.
what little order is in.
Hang on, people, because we are going to minute approvals while we wait 3 minutes.
I move we approve July 12th public session minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion we approve July 12th non-public session and release it all.
Second.
think,
Nothing on there. We gotta
yeah, I think you want to
keep
leave,
Depot Street hid. Not hid, but
leave
see.
item number 1
okay.
until this, until the project is done with.
Okay. Motion we approve July 12th non-public session and keeping item number 1 sealed.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that ends minutes. Still have a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
You could do the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the 4th item is coming off it to go into non-pub with.
That would be item number 1, the 1, 2, 3, the 5th item down.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Um,
5th.
If
Okay.
you would mind, if you wouldn't mind approving everything except for that one item, please.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda for July 26, 2021, excluding item number 5, line 5 on number 1.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we will go into public hearing at 6:05. First one on the agenda is Old Wolfboro Road from Main Street to Route 28. Discussion from the board yet?
Are you open to public to the public?
Well, I opened the public hearing. I opened the public hearing, but do we have any discussion on it yet, or you want the public to come right up?
Public input.
Come right
Okay,
up.
Public input.
when you come to the microphone, you gotta say your name.
My name's Dave Huzzy. I live on Valley Hill Road. I want to ask you a question first. Where does this go? Is this the whole of Old World, or is it just the one going down to the middle of town? That end of it,
My understanding is just the middle of,
just the middle.
Just the
of
one
town.
coming down the town hill right here.
from 28 to the center of town.
Okay, another thing, is there any procedural ways why you decide to shut a road down? Have you got any procedures? Okay.
No.
3, I was for possibly shutting it down until this weekend. Took me a half an hour to get from my house to the circle. Took me 15 minutes to get from the post office to the circle. I went over to Legion. Took me 45 minutes, enough for me to turn around. I went up to Old Wolfboro and went down to Coffin Brook Road and came the back way to my house. And we're gonna throw more traffic on that circle. It doesn't even make sense. You know, I could say, what do you want to say? No tractor trailers going that room, negotiate into something like that. But I can't see shutting down all the locals. So they have to go through this circle on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and spend all that time in the circle. I couldn't get Andy to bring over stone dust. Couldn't make it through the circle. Well, that's my reasoning for Old Wolfmore Road. I can see tractor trailers, but I can't see the local boys being shut off to use that road because I know I just had to do it this weekend. That's all I got to say on Old Wolf.
Thank you.
Yep, Virgil? Can I?
Yep.
How many people here are against are for shutting the road down? For it. Okay, there's one. So let's hear what Ruben's got to say, but I mean, the majority sitting here don't want the road shut down, so what are we gonna sit here and have an argument over?
My whole feeling of shutting it down is mostly tractor trailers.
That's
fine.
where I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with
That's
this.
fine.
I have to.
Mr. Chairman, can I finish?
Go ahead.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
One, equipment carriers coming down that hill, track trailers don't belong. Car carriers do not belong coming down over or going up it. They can't tell me it's easier to go up that way and come off a standing hill with an 18-wheeler than going around that circle. Yes, since the state made a debacle of our traffic circle, I think about 10 years ago, that's what we ended up with all the backups. Because they made us yield going in
Right.
instead of giving Route 11 the right to come in and out. 28 always backed up a little. Only reason, and I'm not against all trucks, but some of these, and I'll just not to get off this one, some of these town roads are neighborhoods now. They're not just country town roads anymore. You got kids with basketball hoops right next to the road. But you have a lot of tractor trailer traffic on some of these roads that they provide state roads for. That's all I'm asking. This little short distance here, I just don't believe tractor trailers belong on it.
So what are you saying? Close it to non-local? You know what I mean? 10
But you
wheelers
can put
and
a sign up, no.
Well, that's
Straight
what
trucks
I'm
only.
saying, Straight trucks.
Straight
only.
trucks.
Okay.
I have to agree with you, Ruben. I have to agree with Mr. Hussey that I don't see the need of 18 wheelers coming down that short section of road and trying to make a left-hand turn in traffic and going almost up onto the curbing and sidewalk to be able to make a left-hand turn down there. It's just, it don't need to be done. But as far as straight trucks and box trucks, to me, that's still, in my opinion, allowable.
So we'd have to discuss what the signage would be to make it legal.
We'd have to
Right,
also
once we're
get,
done. Come on up.
we'd have to get the police chief in to tell us what would
What
be
we can do.
legal that can be enforceable. Yeah.
Name's Joe McDonald. Live on Lily Pond Road. I've lived in this town most of my life. My first question is, why do you want to cross Stockbridge Corner Road?
Stockbridge
Uh,
Road?
We ain't on that one yet. We're on Old Wolfboro Road.
They're all in the
28.
one public.
No,
No,
one at a
three
time.
public hearings, one at a time.
Old Wolfboro Road.
Okay, my second thing is, years ago, this discussion came up at town meetings. And it was decided then, any road that was fixed in the town of Alton from that point on would be fixed for all traffic. You people are the ones that changed that section of Old Wolfboro Road
Well, it wasn't,
by closing off one entrance.
it was Selectmen, but it wasn't this board.
It doesn't matter. It was this board, maybe not these people.
it's the official.
You're the ones that made that decision. That doesn't make it right, and it's still, that's taxpayers' dollars being spent on that road. You have no right to tell somebody they have to drive 3 miles out of their way, or like he said, get caught in the traffic circle. When it's really not a safety issue if the road is put the way it should be.
I agree with that.
Just like I say, if you go back to the records, I can't remember how long, since I was a kid. They decided back then, any money spent on a town road, the road would be brought up to specs for all traffic.
Anybody else? Mr. Roberts.
I understand where Mr. McDonald's coming from. We have a problem. That was done by the town way back when, not to rehabilitate roads, as been done ever since I was here, not to rebuild roads. Rebuilding a road is when you take 36 inches of it out and rebuild it from the sub base up. Most of these roads were a lane and a half at one time. It never got dug up. So all the sub base has never been changed. That's half the problem with half the roads that we do. We can't afford that. Right now, just rehabbing a road's at $1.2 million a mile. Now you want to dig it out? Remember what Coleman did up here on 28? You're all here. What did he do? 36 inches. What'd they just do at Stockbridge Corner Road? 48 inches. That's what they dug out of the road and they rebuilt it. That's what takes the heavy traffic. The town, for 27 years that I was here, never rebuilt a roadway. They rehabbed the surfaces and the drainage. So I think that's where some of the issues were on this. That's where you get all the premature breaking down of the roads. They're not designed for heavy hauling. Now, should they be? That's entirely up to the Board of Selectmen, how much money you want to put into it. What do you thought?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Mr. Donald?
Sorry if they haven't done their job for the last 27 years. But like I say, when I was a kid, this was discussed at town meeting. And in this area, you don't have to scrape out every road 27 inches or 30 inches or 36 inches. You have to look and see what's there. You can't tell me that road's coming apart because of heavy haulers. You were just bitching about the corner at the bottom. That's what everybody was bitching about. It's got nothing to do with heavy haulers.
We're not talking about that. No.
And none of these roads should have anything to do with heavy haulers, because like I say, it was decided years ago, any road that was going to be fixed was going to be brought up to standards for all traffic. That was the discussion then, and it was voted on by the town, not just by the selectmen back then. That was actually at a town meeting. That's the only reason I know about it, because like I say, I was a kid in school and had to go to the town meeting. And that was the discussion back then. And like I say, this road here, you're not talking about grooves in the road, or most of that's not what's there, it's compaction. They don't, when they put the roads in, they're not compacting them right. But this road, you're talking about corners and trucks turning, not the road giving because of heavy haulers.
My opinion is to change Jenny Park, run the grass right up within 2 feet of the building where the line is. Put parking on both sides for that building and have the road come out, tee off to, what is it, Mitchell Ave there?
Yeah.
And have it come down and on straight across from Mitchell Ave.
Dave Huzzy again. Quick question. Did I just hear that all the roads that we've put in all in the last 20 years, after putting up $1 million practically a year, are substandard? Is that what I just heard, or did I hear that wrong?
No, they're not substandard, they're rehabbed.
But they're not a road that should have been accepted for us for heavy traffic. Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
Okay, I just want this
Okay,
clarified. That's all I want to hear.
I mean, when we put out.
Are they
what I heard.
substandard or not?
No, they're not. We
Okay,
put them out for, we rehab the roads. We're not tearing them down. Well, a couple of them, we did tear down 36 inches.
Coffin Brook, we
But
tore
some of them
down.
we don't. We
Uh,
rehab them and new drainage and open things up.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we're using geotech stuff. We spent thousands on that. Those roads, I gotta give credit. I went and looked at when the city was building them. I thought he was doing a great job.
Yep.
Now, is that true, Kitty?
Sections were rebuilt, full 36.
Yeah.
So they are good,
Yes,
today's standards.
yes. We gotta have your name.
I'm sorry.
You gotta get to Scott. Now you gotta say your name, so it.
Scott
goes on the
Williams. One thing about the roads is the roads that the town rebuilds are a different road than if I were to build.
Mhm.
Mine is completely different than what we're rebuilding now. And as Ken said, to do it right is to, get the garbage out of there and rebuild it properly with the materials. So not all roads have been rebuilt to that specification.
Right.
So that does not meet class 5 road specs quotation, but it met the criteria that the board of selectmen put forward.
Right.
That's plain and simple.
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, seeing none. We'll close the public hearing on Old Wolfboro Road. Discussion from the board. My opinion is we should seriously think about changing that corner at the bottom. I mean, every year somebody goes into Jenny Park with a car coming down there in the winter.
Don't think you'd get the sight distance that the state would allow you to do it. You bring that intersection further down towards the pizza place and the old post office, you won't have the sight distance because of that curve, and that could be a stumbling block with the state.
Well, that road was there before.
Road was there before, but it actually went in off to the right. It was more of a slight avenue turn.
Wasn't it?
Why the town didn't leave it that way and put it one way is beyond me.
Well, if anything, we could shorten Jenny Park and if you put the grass up towards the building and close that three-way off and put parking on both sides, which you've got enough room to do. You could take part of Jenny Park out on the other end of it. On
We'd
the
have to see
south
how
end.
we'd have to see how Jenny Park was left to the town, because I think that was a gift given to the town. That's why her name is on it, how it was left to the town. But other than that, you got the state of New Hampshire Department of Transportation, whether they give you another permit to redo that intersection.
No, I think that's something we can look at, Mr. Chairman.
At some point.
Future.
Otherwise, I think maybe that we need to talk to the chief about proper signage that we could adapt on the short section of Old Wolfboro Road from 28 to Main Street and see if we can change it to certain or 18 wheelers, if you will, and just discontinue the use of 18 wheelers using that road.
So this board's in agreement with just straight frame.
I think I don't see a problem with
I have no
straight.
problem with straight frame.
Well, the tractor trailers. Exempt, not allowed.
Two is you have to ask the state when we do this to see if they'll put a warning sign up before that, because once they're committed on there, there's no stopping.
Right, yeah, because you're not gonna back up at some
Yeah.
Bay Hill. You're not gonna
Can't turn
back
around.
out of it.
No.
Can't turn around.
Are you saying you want the police chief in at the next meeting?
I think
I think we have to,
Okay,
I think that's what
Before
will be
we-
warranted next.
so we don't make a
okay,
Signage.
mistake here.
all right.
I don't think there's anything that I can tell on Old Wolfboro Road that looks like it's in bad shape. I don't think there's any cracks or anything that's looking really bad. I don't think it's a weight issue. It's the turning issue at the bottom of the hill. In my opinion.
Yeah. I think that was our original concerns.
You did close the public
I closed the public. Discussion.
I see some hands being raised.
Board have a problem with opening it back up to listen to the public again.
I just wanted to clarify something.
Only thing, Mr. Chairman, once you close the public hearing, you're not allowed to reopen.
That's okay.
That's the only thing. Yeah. By state statutes, just in case anybody left the meeting, which nobody had, but all I'm saying is.
All right.
So the assessor is scheduled under old business number 1 for 2 quick items with you.
Where
He's
is he?
downstairs and
Tell him he's
he
got 8
said bang
minutes.
your foot on the 3 times. And
Now I
I
get blamed for the ceiling falling in, right?
will text him.
I think he's planning on waiting until 7 anyway.
Well, we got-
Mr. Chairman, you got the Public Works Director here. You have 2 items for him. Which one is we fast, the new business?
Got him coming right in. And we'll go to Bay Hill. I can't open Bay Hill until
6:35.
6:35. Because of the way it's set up with the times. You wanted to see how it runs anyways.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was Virgil.
For a second, I thought the building was coming down on my head, and then I said, oh, I remember, I said that to Liz, not stomp on the floor 3 times if you want me to come up. Okay, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I have 2 abatement applications here, neither one of which supplied their information on time. They're both denials, very simple.
We give you that motion, but we don't have that in front of us.
We don't have it.
I don't have it.
Is this?
Don't have
right
any.
here?
I thought I brought it
That's,
up.
it's in the
refile.
manifest.
The manifest.
Yeah, I have them both right here.
Okay.
That's why I can't find it.
I didn't give it up.
No, we didn't have it. in-
At any event, they're very simply here. I'll give you those if you want to make a motion, but they're very simply McDonald's.
Guys,
Who was asked to supply.
guys,
That's it.
be quiet.
So you don't
Anybody
have
wanna
all the
look at it?
information?
I do have, I don't
All
know,
here.
I thought I turned it in.
Okay.
But at any rate, McDonald's was asked to supply some financial data on why they asked for a 15 to 20% reduction in their assessment due to COVID. And I asked them to supply financial information as to why that would be necessary. And their response was, well, we don't like to share our financial data, to which I said, well,
Why'd their land get COVID?
well, they said that they had to close their dining room for some period of time because of COVID, and it apparently cost their business, to which I said, just kindly document that and I'll make a recommendation, which they did not do. They chose not to do that, so I can't recommend to approve that. The other one was a gentleman that I had scheduled an appointment. He couldn't make it and then never contacted back to reschedule it. So in light of that, I had assumed already that his assessment was pretty fair and was willing to meet with him to let him show me why it wasn't, and he chose not to do that, so there's nothing else I can do except recommend that we deny it. So those are 2 very basic applications, and the information was not supplied to the assessing office timely. So in point of order, because we did not respond to them by July 1st, they're denied anyway. And I've already spoken with the tax rep on both of them, so he knows this is just a formality at this point.
I make a motion that we deny application map 21 lot 1 through 4. I say the name or not?
Yes.
All right. Bitchman Family Realty Trust, 141 Clay Point Road. And application for map 26 lot 11, Golden Arch LTD, partnership 15 Homestead Place.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Mr. Kidman, would you like to step up for a minute?
I can also do some TA stuff later if you need a filler.
So we're going to decommission or trail parking? Probably decommission, because trail parking, I don't know if we get enough time.
So this was on the pickup truck, you had set a minimum, I had requested a $500 minimum. Board had changed and asked for a $1,000 minimum. We had no bids. I'm again requesting a $500 minimum.
How bad is the truck in shape wise?
Pretty bad. Sense in keeping another thing around, it costs us more and more money.
Now, what do we have that on, the auction site?
Yes. It's on the auction site, which has worked pretty well. We sold the Mack dump truck on there. The chipper, you had set a $5,000 minimum on that. That was sold for $7,600. So
Good.
get good money, I thought. Yeah,
So you've had no offers on the truck at all?
none whatsoever.
We're sending down to the White Farm for the state auction. You get pretty good money down there for it.
How long was it on the? How long was it on?
I believe it was a little over a month now. It's pretty close to a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. That was quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, went on before the chipper.
How many miles are on that?
I didn't bring it with me, but it's over 100,000.
It's a Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, Mr. Chairman, put a notice in the town hall, post office and the paper saying we'll submit sealed bids for that truck and just be done with it.
Mhm.
I didn't even put a minimum on it. Put it out there.
Board's choice.
Otherwise, we're just gonna keep kicking it around the highway garage, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with him. No sense in
No.
keeping it without using it. It's young.
Is that truck inspected?
I don't believe it is at this time.
Kenny,
Actually,
Kenny, if you
I
got your
take that
Flintstone
back,
shoes
Bob.
on,
It is still inspected until September.
well, if it's in that
Sticker
bad,
runs out, I'm pretty sure in September.
but if it's in that bad a shape, how the hell do we get a sticker on it?
From last year.
It was
I
from
know,
last
but
year,
a
year
truck in a
ago.
year's time don't go in this bad a shape that it's total junk.
So at this point, it won't pass inspection again.
No,
In September, there's no way it's gonna pass.
not without repairs.
Okay.
They need to have some repairs to it.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out why we didn't get any bids on it.
It's a Dodge.
Let's put it in the paper.
Well, I can agree to that, but
I personally, I would not spend the money to put it in the paper. The reason why that is, it does not cost us anything to put it on the Municid website.
Oh, we could put,
Doesn't
Park it
cost
out
us
front and put a for
anything.
sale sign on it.
like Ruben says, we could put signs right up the post office in here.
Oh, sure, we can put flyers up. I just don't.
And one
think
on
it's-
and one on the town website.
Yeah, on the website. I mean, but I just don't see that it has a
Spending the
value.
money.
The newspaper now, I mean, a basic newspaper ad right now costs you, can't get out from underneath it for less than $80. So I mean, it's pretty expensive that way. And there's no sense in spending money when,
No.
these other places will either advertise it. I've had a couple of people that have been, have said if it was $500 and they might think about bidding on it. Once again, see what
Oh.
that means. Most of them. go,
You want to make a motion, Ruben? What's your,
Lower the bid.
go ahead.
what's wrong with us rebidding it at
Oh, you can-
500?
Oh, you,
Well, that's what we're gonna do.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
That doesn't
that's-
cost
it would
nothing.
be right, this
We'll
motion.
talk
Rebid
about
it,
selling it price.
lower the bid.
Yeah,
Lower the bid to
sure.
500 and rebid it.
Yep.
Put it back- put
That
it
doesn't
back
cost
on.
Your motion,
That's my motion.
second.
And advertise it in the different areas in town.
Put a for sale sign on it and throw it out front.
Well, most of
I'm
the
kidding.
auctions, you can't do that.
I'm kidding.
No, most.
Why? We can advertise on the auction. and
I'm
sell it
only
out here.
kidding.
Can't have two separate auctions going, a bid and an.
you have
was
to
only a
refer
joke.
them, you have to refer them to the online system. If you're gonna use
sign
the
up.
online system.
Again,
Put it on
that was
the-
only a joke. I'm sorry. Just put it back out to bid for 500
On the municipal,
on municipal site.
To me, I would advertise it around town for a couple weeks first.
You can get more money for it in bid and junk price. You might as well just junk it. It's true. The price of junk is up. You take it to the scrapyard, you get more, you'll get your $500 out of it.
Did you second that, Ruben?
Ma'am.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Nay. Just turn that clock ahead.
Would you like me to speak on a TA item, maybe?
Go for it.
I have a couple of things under TA. The first is we received 3 holiday premium holidays from Primex on our 3 insurances with them. You have a packet in your binder under TA report. The first one is unemployment compensation insurance. And as you know, the premium holidays, sometimes you receive them, sometimes you don't. It depends on your claim level. And it's like a rebate. It's an unanticipated revenue and gets deposited into the general fund. So the first one is unemployment insurance in the amount of $5,000, $748.33.
I have a question for you. We need to make a motion for you to put in for the check instead of credit.
Well, the checks are on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't need a motion for it.
No, nope. And basically on the first page of your document, there are some reasons why this rebate has occurred. The bullet items down near the bottom, there's some reasons on that. The next insurance is the property liability program, and that was for $25,083.04. And there are some bullet items on that sheet.
I have a question for you. If we had claims against that?
Yes, we always have claims every year for everything, unemployment, workers' comp, and property liability. It's just due to the state of emergency, there were fewer claims of everything. And they are required by law to issue some rebates
why
to
I'm
their
asking,
members if they have a certain amount left over.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Contribution is 108,000, we get 25 back.
Yep. And then continuing to the last insurance, which is workers' comp insurance, that rebate is $60,290.75. And there are some bullet items on that page as well. Such as many public buildings had restricted access or were closed altogether, leading to fewer employees in the workplace and therefore a decreased risk of accidents and injuries. Another example, the 4th bullet item, members implemented excellent risk management strategies and safety protocols, making good use of guidance and resources related to COVID-19. So this is just informational for you to know that these checks are en route and will be deposited into the general fund. The other item that I had to report on under TA report is this Wednesday at 1 o'clock in Guilford is the monthly meeting on the Atlantic Broadband Franchise Consortium. And if anybody would like to go with me, as long as there are not more than 2 of you, you're welcome to attend. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will open the Bay Hill Road public hearing at 6:30, 4:30. What's that? We're close enough now. I added the 30. Okay, we will open it up to the public.
Hi, my name is George Sands. I live at 10 Bay Hill Road, and I almost got killed 2 weeks ago coming out of my driveway. I used to work for Public Works in the city of Salem, Mass, and I obtained a hidden driveway sign, and it was taken down by one of your town people. And I went to Ruben and asked why. He said it wasn't in code. But I don't know why whoever took it down didn't see the reason to put another one up. Because it's a dangerous place to come out of. We have a public walkway that goes down to the beach, right across from our driveway. We've got kids that can go across the driveway, across the road. I mean, you got to do something with this. I mean, I'm pretty sure these guys that own trucks are going to tell you, they agree with you about the trucks going down that road. That road's terrible. Yeah. No sidewalks. It's just a mess. I mean, I see cars going up there 50 miles an hour, starting at the dock side, just pedaling it right up. I mean, like I said, I had a lady 18 inches come right to me broadside. I didn't have a chance. I mean, I would suggest maybe putting a crosswalk past our driveway. Just to let them know that we got people crossing to get down to that public walkway to go to the beach. I mean, last couple of days, I cut the weeds down off the wall to give us a little bit of a chance to let them see us, but I'm thinking I'm ordered a mirror from Amazon to put on the pole to give us a little bit of a chance, you know, run a chance to, I mean, when I pulled out, nothing was coming. But then as soon as I let go of the clutch, I see the front left part of the blue car. By the time I come out, she was right on me. She goes, wow, that was scary. I said, how do you think I felt? So I think you all know something's got to be done down there. And I would appreciate a sign.
Put in a request and drop it off.
Well, we put in a request 2 months ago.
Yes,
You did.
no, that's been done.
Oh,
I went down to Public Works, but there was nobody there except for the workers that said the secretary wasn't there, or the management. They couldn't help me, but
oh, a minute, Liz,
Um,
request for that?
Yes, a written request, and it was sent out to the proper and appropriate department
it's still
heads
in the
for,
works.
yes.
Okay.
you know, I know it's a tough road. I know probably money's tight or whatever, but I really appreciate something to be done, if you could. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my neighbor's here too, and he has a child with disabilities. He would probably like to say something too. Thank you.
I get traffic light in front of my house if I could.
Yeah, your driveway
Most
is real
definitely.
scary.
Hey, Huzzy,
If he hands every time.
I think pretty much everybody that's here was at the same meeting. I think you all know that we had no problem shutting Bay Hill Road down. At least Joe's the only one that wasn't, but that's a no-brainer. It's an illegal road. So I don't even see us making it a half an hour. So that's my.
Thank you.
I know. And then it's back to waiting again. I think we should turn the clock ahead and then back to the right time.
Yes, I'm the neighbor.
Right?
My name is Teddy Barassa. How are you?
Hang on, guys.
I'm the gentleman that has the son that comes to see me during the weekends and stuff like that during the summertime. We're full-time residents now through the winter and stuff. Summertime, it's horrible. It's a speed trap up the hill, down the hill. The problem is
Anywhere
the
in
intersection
town.
in front of the dockside. There's no speed trap or bump there or no light. You guys can put signs all day long. The tourists that come here, they don't give a crap about you or me. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they gotta get up RPMs to make it up that hill. But that driveway comes out of nowhere before they realize it's too late. So when, you know, my fellow resident or my son, who's 7, has autism, decides to go where he wants to go at the drop of a hat, I cannot always, I try my best, but he could go that way and all of a sudden it's too late. I pulled out of my truck and I've had vehicles coming 2 feet from me and I'm looking death in the eye. They don't follow any of the rules there. They'll jackknife there and come back around. They'll be following the road that goes along the lake there and the beach.
Mhm.
They'll come from this direction, and they'll all jackknife and come back up the hill. And during the wintertime, the degree of slope is too big for anything 10,000 above. They should be coming down that hill anyways, because all it takes is one human error, and that tractor trailer will take out everything, go over that bank and in across the street and into the friggin' beach. So there should be a sign at the top of the hill and the bottom of the hill, 10,000 above, no go. Okay, if there's not a rumble strip or something to slow them down there, these signs aren't working. You need to put a stoplight or a street light or some kind of something to wake people up. It's not so much the people that live there. It's the people that come to visit and bring revenue to this town. We all want that. But we all care about our children and we all have to live there too. And that's in jeopardy right now. Something's got to change. That's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I fought for this country. If my son gets killed, I'm coming after you, and I will come after this town. There'll be a fucking lawsuit. Pardon my French.
Easy now with the mouth.
Pardon my French.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done because I want to take my son down. I pay taxes. I want to cross the street, go down the steps, and go to the beach and take a dip with my 7-year-old son. I've bled for this country. Make a change. If something happens to my son, I will come after this town. You can bet your bottom dollar.
Thank you. Anybody else? Fine, you got 20 minutes. Scott, turn that clock.
Yep.
Well, Joe McDonald, Lily Pond Road. The only thing I have to say, and I've seen this a number of times, if you're gonna put signs on the road, put them out on the highway, not on our road. And make sure, I don't care if there's an accident or whatever there is, the police department, I've seen them send more trucks down that road than anybody's ever driven on their own. When something's going on 28, that's where your problem is too. The police department should not be sending trucks down that road.
All right, anybody else?
No, he's going to get something to drink. He's getting something to drink.
Mr. Hussey,
I know this is on,
you gotta come up. So the speaker can hear you.
take my time.
Yeah, take a long time.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. The reason why that road was built the way it was, we met with the DOT. They wanted us to swing that road and come out so we could see down both ways. I didn't agree. I said, take the monument down, the middle of it. That's where the road should have gone. He said, but we're not gonna take that down. No, you're not gonna. So that's why the road goes where it is. The DOT said it has to go here. So I just wanted to clear that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here comes the mic, say your name.
I'm Joe McDonald again. My only question is, I realize it's a bad spot. You could probably alleviate half the problems with that turn right there if you made it a one-way going up the old Y from this direction. So everybody didn't have to come out that one spot. Or turn in that one spot and screw traffic. You got the store right there. If the traffic coming from this way, you opened up that Y again, so they could just go right up the hill. You could probably alleviate half the problems on that hill.
You talking about Wolfboro Road now?
Wolfboro Road,
Oh,
yeah.
we're talking
Oh, yeah,
about
we're on
Bay
Bay
Hill
Hill.
now. We're on Bay Hill Road now.
Trying to figure out where the Y
I was
was.
talking, I figured he was on that because of the monument.
Yeah, no,
Where's the
no.
monument down on Bay Hill?
There isn't. I think he misunderstood too.
That's why
We've already discussed
I'm
Old
sitting here
Wolfboro
trying to
Road,
think
so
of it
now
going,
we're on
man,
Bay
we're
Hill.
somewhere
That was
else.
my thought. You're trying to waste time anyhow.
Thank you.
But it was just a thought.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts.
Yeah. He was talking about Old Wolfboro Road.
I thought you added something on the hill. I thought you might have added something that I missed.
That's Paul, not me.
What? I didn't add it. I didn't add anything.
Ruben, you probably remember this. And this is Dave's defense. Originally, the original plans that came out for Bay Hill Road, when it was rebuilt way back when, was a Y at the bottom. It went in both directions. Came down, guardrail wasn't there, steps weren't there. The road was actually designed to go both directions.
Right.
When it came before the town and we talked about it, the steepness of that grade going to the right was going to be incredible. So that's why it was pretty much eliminated, and the state wasn't real overly thrilled about it as well. So there was a Y originally designed for that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to turn to the right off of Bay Hill.
Right.
Correct.
So originally it was designed as a Y at the very bottom, but then that got thrown up.
Yeah.
It's all the immigrants. It's all their fault. Okay, any more? Anybody else got questions? Seeing none, we will close. Excuse me?
No, we can do other things.
Yeah.
But we can.
Seeing no more questions, we will close. We will close public hearing. Discussion for the board.
Yeah, I'd like to elaborate on it a little bit. Going back to when the signs were taken down, unfortunately, they were taken down prematurely, I thought. And we definitely need to put back a sign, definitely for a blind driveway. That's number one. That should be going up tomorrow.
Put it in your motion.
And that's one of the things I also would like to see. And I think we need to have a weight limit put back on Bay Hill Road. 6-ton weight limit back on Bay Hill, no through trucking. And also put in for the main reason why a lot of us are here, it was mentioned tonight that,
Guys,
it was mentioned tonight that a lot of people on the street aren't the issue, it's the people that are coming through. And this has been a problem for years and years. Lately, it's been a lot of traffic that comes through that is on GPS and coming through, and especially in the winter, I'd like to see a sign at the top and at the bottom, do not use Bay Hill in inclement weather from November 1st to like to April 1st. Something like that on each side, and not necessarily on the road, but facing 28, so people can see it before they commit going downhill, and then you can't back up.
well, I think.
These are some of the things that were talked about.
And I think that's part of the problem is the signs that over the top of that hill. So you're committed. Once you start down that hill, you're committed. You ain't backing up it.
And actually, if we could talk to the chief and talk to see if we can legally paint a crosswalk across the road and to the stairway, I think we ought to look into that as well.
Well, we could do the crosswalk. It's on town property. You're still gonna have to make it ADA compliant. And the other thing is you might have to move it up a little bit only because of the sight distance. That's the only thing.
And do you have a problem with the crosswalk of people walking out there when the cars are flying down that hill? Because cars are flying down the hill. People in crosswalks.
We need to
never
put the
happen
speed
if
limit
it's
sign
walking
back
out
up as
through
well.
it.
Mr. Chairman, the other thing is we need more traffic enforcement on that hill. And it should be in the morning first thing. It should be in the afternoon around 3:30 in the afternoon when people are coming home from work. Secondly, I still say, I don't understand why we can't get Google, as big as a company they are, to push a button to take that off their maps. And if it takes the town attorney sending them a letter along with the state of New Hampshire involved, to send something to them and get that off the map, so it doesn't come up that it's a shortcut.
That's where a lot of your traffic.
Oh, and basically, all these problems arise, basically because people just don't want to take time anymore and they want the quickest and shortest way.
Right, that's right.
Whether it's a car driver, or it's a truck driver, whatever, they want the shortest and quickest way. And they don't differentiate between trucks and cars on the Google yet, but they have just started formulating it. But Bay Hill Road should have a 6-ton road limit. I think that's as low as we can go. And the only other thing you do is local traffic only. That way, anybody from Alton could still drive on it, but if they're from out of town or out of state cutting down through it, they're not considered local traffic unless they're visiting.
Having the proper signage, we can also make it enforceable. Some of the signage that was there before was not enforceable. Now it can be.
Well, it wasn't enforceable because that 6-ton low limit at a selectmen's meeting 8 years ago. And it got left up there, but if anybody ever challenged that, it would never been enforced.
Right.
Plus, like Selectman Rubin just said, enforcement stuff.
Oh,
You can
enforcement
put
is
all
the
the
number one.
signs up, you can put all the crosswalks in, but if we don't have the enforcement.
I've been saying that since the beginning, and when we have the sign up there, we need enforcement.
I have too. So everything's got to be coordinated. And it can't just be enforcement for this week. It'll be
It has to
all
be
the time.
continuous.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
So I've taken notes of the recommendations.
I'm gonna make a motion on them.
And would you like the police chief here at the next meeting for this issue as well? On any
Yes.
of the things that you're looking for guidance on, such as the crosswalk, the painted crosswalk and things of that nature, and I'll let him know
Crosswalk
about
is-
the.
I think Mr. Kidman has to look into.
The other
Well,
thing, Mr. Chairman,
both, but
I'd like to know the RSA's on how low you can go with the speed limit on the road.
Right.
By state statutes. If you go under 25, you have to have a safety study, I believe.
Right.
I'd like to know at least a state study, because that should be at least
I
down to
think
15
it's-
miles an hour.
The safety study has to be under 30 because that's how we had to do a safety study on Old New Durham Road. They had to do the traffic study before they could get it to 25.
I don't know if you can go below 25 with state statutes.
It really should be 15 to 20 miles an hour.
the other issue we got is the placement of the signs. Like you
Well,
said,
that's what I mean. They gotta go up on that highway.
that's right. And
Put that out here as
we
well.
can't do that without the state.
Well, if they just appear. Ask for
You
forgiveness.
can get it as close to the end of the road as
That's why
possible.
we'd have our public works director look into it with the police chief.
One of the issues that we had, and I have pictures, and I've presented them before, that some of the pictures of the signs on 28, they were back about 25, 30 feet. So you were already turning on committed. I'm talking about getting them close to the end. So you see them at the end before you're committed down the hill. That's when people don't turn around, they go down, and that's when an accident happens.
They're already there.
Yeah, well, once they make that right,
Yeah.
Well, the other signs were down by the guardrail, just at the crest of that hill too, and you're in that fire, you're pretty
Oh,
well
yeah.
committed.
You're committed once you start down that hill. You're not backing up.
I would like to make a motion to have Ryan do some traffic enforcement or whatever for morning and afternoon. Sign for local traffic only, up on the edge of the highway. 6-ton load limit sign.
Yep.
And to have Mr. Kidman add a blind driveway sign and look into the walkway and figure out what we can do
Correct.
to straighten this road out. That's my motion.
Second.
And I have a second. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
The blind driveway sign, is that a different blind driveway than the gentleman that was up here
Nope.
earlier? It's the same one? Okay,
Same
all right.
one. And if we could get your name and stuff, so Mr. Town Road Agent, the director could get a hold of you to make sure where we are on that hill. Yeah. Just so he has some
And you-
guidance as that he's.
You have a couple of pictures that were presented to you as exactly where it was.
Said, I'm gonna put a mirror. There's two signs like that you can't go down and take a right. The sign that's right, no right turn, and on another pole in front of it, it shows the arrow with the crossword. If you could put that big arrow with the crossword on the same sign, so my mirror could see the upcoming traffic would be a big L too.
What's his name and phone number?
Can we get your name and phone number so the town administrator can have it? So we can get a hold of you? Come on up. We don't want to yell it out because it'll be on the film.
That's all guys said.
Yeah, well, it goes out on film.
Sands,
You might get more calls than you want.
SANS
SANDS,
and your number?
508 843
Yeah.
2623.
Thank you.
Don't say it out loud.
Like I said, I retired from the city of Salem, Mass. DPW. I was the head working foreman for the street department, and I could see where a crosswalk would be great. Just past the driveway, like.
Thank you.
Oh, that's all in the motion, so.
I appreciate it.
It's been seconded already, I think.
Seconded.
Yep. It's been seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All in favor? All right, what we squeezing now? Running out of time.
You got
9
highway.
minutes, you could do.
Got more reports?
Trail.
I don't, but there is the
Trail.
Alton Mountain Road.
All right, Scott,
Selectmen's reports.
For
if you would
the,
come up, Mr. Kidman,
for the 4 Pine Street.
How much time?
you will go to 4 Pine Street. If you could give us an update on it,
The
on how we're
update,
making out.
as of last Friday afternoon, I didn't see Artie today, is if he has a company in there and they have installed the dehumidifiers. Those were going in the basement. They were gonna let them go all weekend, and I believe they were gonna return today, although I did not see any activity there today, which would indicate that they had their crew in there today. They were gonna run the dehumidifiers, and then from there, they were gonna finish doing the cleanup from there as far as vacuuming and cleaning floor, and then looking over all the items that were in the basement, if they were in cardboard boxes, if in fact they needed to be transferred into new boxes and assessed as to whether or not things need to be washed, if they were garments or any of that kind of stuff. So still in the assessment stage.
And we're sure we got set up so it can't happen again.
Yes. Well, I mean, we all
I know.
gone through that. They did not today. They did not have the structure that they needed, the DI structure in there to do that drop inlet.
But do you feel that we've got a trench there enough to handle it, that it's not gonna go back into the house?
They've opened up that drainage, so
Okay.
So it should be all set,
should,
because that's would be a major concern.
once they opened that drainage up the other day, then
It all took off.
that took care of the situation.
It's okay, Benny. Yeah.
Now, we have to be, well, I mean, it's a gravel road now. and It's a pretty good draining road, believe it or not, just because of the, as you know, we've had dust already. It rains and you get a half inch of rain and then it's already gone. It goes right into that ground. It's probably some of the best.
It's all sand.
All nice sandy gravel.
Have we finished the water section? They passed the water test and everything, and we're done that non-drainage now?
All the pressure tests have been completed. Courtney gave me an update as of the other day, and those had been done. Chlorination had happened on School Street and one chlorination on Church Street, and sending the water samples. Water samples went for School Street, I think on Friday, and then I believe the water samples for Church Street, they were gonna send them I believe. I didn't get a chance to talk to the superintendent. He was in the machine this afternoon before I came up here, so I didn't get a chance to talk. They were just doing drainage today, and from what I understand, they did one tie-in of the water.
So they're starting to tie in the houses then?
They did one today. I don't know if it was just because of the drainage or not. That's the reason why they just did that one.
As long as we're still moving ahead. All right, I thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Sure. Okay.
7:05.
Selectmen's reports, maybe?
Selectmen report.
Yes, I just had one thing, the Old Home Week
Take your time.
book is out. I don't know if you've seen it. There's copies down below. That's it.
I was just gonna bring up Arthur Canelson. He did stop and see me Sunday. Told me the same thing that Scott had told me. Working with him and everything. So that's all I was gonna tell you. That's all I would have had for you tonight. But Scott beat me to it, so thank you, Scott. Oh, it saved me from talking.
I just wanted to update
Oh,
on
that's fine.
us and the board so we're all on the same page with it. Mark, Selectmen's report.
I just so the board knows that we did find Miss Connellison's rose bush and it has been returned back to her. It was buried in a triaxle load of gravel. So I think, I'm pretty sure, I think Courtney went up the day after me and Virgil went down that night and looked and couldn't find it.
Alto.
I did too.
And Paul, I didn't realize you.
Yeah.
But I guess it was found, they dug through a pile up at somebody's house where they'd been dumping and found the rose bush and returned it. So it has been returned.
Nice.
And she was very happy.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you to everybody that was involved with that.
Nothing at this time.
And I have nothing. Well, I do have one. Conservation, we are getting ready to redo Herd Brook. They're gonna paint it.
Yep.
Fix for the fish and stock it. Just it's like a brook rehab type program that the state comes in and helps with and stuff. So Herd Brook is the next one on the list. It's supposed to start this week.
Very good.
Did you want to do public agenda items only?
Do that. Public input on agenda items. Mr. Williams.
Really an agenda item, but coming out of Hannaford tonight, Scott Williams.
Yes.
the Huggins Hospital, they mow their place really good. That little triangle right there, can we send someone there with a mower and just knock that down and make that a little bit more attractive? The traffic that goes in and out of
Oh, right at the end of
Hannaford,
the
right
road, you mean?
at where Homestead Road goes, right there, you look at it, it's just looks hideous. So maybe,
Right before Range Road.
right, just that little triangle right there.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it's,
Tell you the truth,
It's all-
right now, they're trying to, because some help has left and it's one or two people right now trying
yeah,
to get some.
this is probably just a weed whacker, all it needs
Yeah.
to see.
Thank you.
Did you want me to have grounds and maintenance take a look at that?
It's the board's wishes. Yeah, they can take a look.
Yes.
Or not?
Yep, I got 4 yeses.
All right.
I just think the town administrator could take care of that with the public
On our
works
way.
director and
Well,
just have it
just go
done.
take
On
care
her way home, like tonight or something, she could just stop.
I just think tomorrow she could shoot him a memo.
For that matter, I mean, if I can bring it up, I mean,
Yes.
that was mentioned as well. I mean, similar situation would be the Alton sign on the ground at the bottom of Bay Hill, facing the town beach. The weeds are that high and you can't even read Alton.
They call you the mayor of the hill, so they left that for the mayor.
I guess I'll go down there with the weed whacker and I'll take care of it.
So this property in between Range Road and Homestead, is that town property?
It's within the town right away.
You're right on the,
Yeah.
there's
Where
a,
Scott is talking, it is in the town right away.
Mhm.
It's where the Moore Farm has their sign.
and can you have the Alton Beach sign looked at? Two at
Maybe
the same
Virgil-
time.
That or Virgil could do it for his in-laws.
I'm a ways up the road and if they can't hay it, then don't cut it.
You don't cut it.
Yeah, you let the sheep down there. Mr. Hussey,
Just a quick question. Are we doing anything on the cemetery down here? I saw some people walking it the other day. So I didn't know if you guys were thinking about fixing it or,
Well, there was money set aside, voted on to the
Yes.
town meeting a year ago. Then the pandemic hit, so the engineering stopped on it. So the engineering is in there to
Yes.
engineer it to best use and possible use that we can get out of that. cemetery.
just that it is an eyesore.
Sure is.
So,
yeah, they're
Certainly
engineering it for the roads where the electric's gonna go up, where everything can get set to get the best use
Just
out of it.
wanted
That's
to
what they're
know.
working on.
just wanted to, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? We will close the public input. Jesus Christ, I hate clocks.
I'm surprised somebody didn't answer you, my son.
I was waiting for Scott or somebody, Dave, somebody just turn it.
Dave can reach
turn it
that
back
clock. Can you just move that?
And turn it
2
back
minutes.
before he leaves. I will open up the public hearing for Stockbridge Corner Road at 7:04. Is that all right? In 30 seconds.
Why don't you just say 7:05? That clock is slow by 2 minutes, so it is 7:05.
All right, we'll open it up at 7:06. Way I'm safe. Open to the public. Step right up.
Take a couple questions. Dave Huzzy. First of all, I'm wondering if this meeting is being done properly in the right venue. Because according to what I've read, you cannot close a road going down into another county. You have to have a meeting with all the town. It's called, I can't remember now, but you have to have both towns involved. Because if you stop and think of it, their end of their road is open. They're gonna drive down and they see a sign. If you're in a tractor trailer, where are you gonna back a 55?
But we're in talks with them too.
What's that?
We're in talks with them too.
Okay.
So they handle their sides of it.
And then with that said, I don't understand why we're shutting it down or declassifying it. According to the state, you cannot declassify without shutting the road down. There's got to be a reason for it. If it isn't the first roads you brought up were no brainers. It was for safety. I can't see this being a safety issue on Stockbridge Corner Road. Oh, and according to Larry versus the town of Alton, he got stopped on that road back years ago and the town lost to him. So there is a issue with legal there. According to the judge, you cannot dump and close a road going into another county. So that would be Stockbridge Corner Road and Powder Mill Road. Those are two roads that would be in question. So you really need to have a public meeting with the town of Alton and the town of New Durham. So you really have got an illegal meeting going on.
Mr. Chairman, can I
Thank you.
make a question on that?
Yes, sir.
We did send a letter down to the town of New Durham to the selectmen last year when this was brought up. The town of New Durham said they would also hold a public hearing at that point. As far as I'm concerned, wood chip trucks from Concord, New Hampshire, Pembroke, New Hampshire, or Farmington or Rochester do not belong going across Stockbridge Corner Road, nor do car carriers, because they don't want to go into the traffic circle and go down Route 11. Our roads aren't built for it. They're not wide enough for it. I don't understand the hesitation of the taxpayers of this community not wanting to provide safety on those roads, because they're not just country roads anymore. They're neighborhood roads. These roads have been built up. They're more than built up than what they were 20 years ago, 40 years ago when I was a kid. This is for the safety of our children. They ride their bikes down those roads. They walk on those roads. They're breaking down our roads. No, those roads are not made for tractor trailer weight to go back and forth at 30 and 40 miles an hour. And that's what they do. And I still say it all goes back to safety. I'm not limiting anybody because I'm not taking a road away. They have access by state authority and travel to go across Route 11 and out 28. So I'm not denying them anything. It's just that they don't want to take the time. And that's the problem with most of this country today. They don't want to take the time. They don't have consideration of others. And that's the only reason I'm for closing that road to tractor trailers. I'd leave it over in the box trucks, but tractor trailers, no. That's all I had to say, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Sorry, Ruben, I have to disagree with you.
That's fine.
That's all right. That's why we're here.
Joe McDonald, Lily Pond Road. I don't see why you people are trying to force more traffic into the traffic circle. It's a mess down there as it is. Anybody that can alleviate the traffic circle by using the roads that are supposed to be up to specs for all traffic should be using those roads. If people are afraid of the traffic on that road, maybe they ought to keep their kids in their yards. The roads are wide enough for trucks. I drive a truck and they are wide enough to drive a truck on that road. It can be done. No, you can't speed. You have to be doing the speed limit, but there's no reason not to have trucks on that road. It's causing more problems by forcing the trucks to go a further distance, to say nothing of the fact of what you're costing the truck drivers to drive the further distance and use more time and get stuck in traffic. It screws everything up. That's just my opinion. I see no reason to close the road. If the road can't handle it, it was supposed to be brought up to specs when it was built before. If it's not done, it should be brought up to specs now, because there's no reason those roads should not be able to handle a truck.
I have to say, I agree with no tractor trailers on it.
Dave Huzzy, again, when we built those roads, there was never any restriction on it, that a tractor trailer could not. We built them to spec. And that's what the public paid for. If they didn't get that, then there's a problem. Why weren't they built to spec? I drive truck. I've gone down that road, but in another thing too, I was down on that road for an hour and a half the other day. Never saw a truck. Saw pretty cars. And Joe's exactly right. We're going to take all the traffic that goes on those secondary roads, which are through roads. We built them for through roads. And we're going to put them through the circle with the mess we got there now. Can't do it. You're interfering with commerce. Now that's against the law. So, yeah, maybe if those roads are built and they're not safe, then you got to bring it up as a safety issue. And then you need to fix them. And that's according to the DOT. New Hampshire DOT says, you can't shut them down, you need to fix them. I'm against shutting them down.
Anybody else? Step right forward. Got a smile. He must be devil's advocate now.
Well, that's it. Now, I could be wrong in reading the RSA. The RSA says deterioration of a roadway can be conducted by the town at any time in order to reduce load limits onto the roadway to prematurely destroy it. Now, I got that RSA directly from Liz. Maybe the Board of Selectmen ought to see that RSA as well as the public, because that's kind of what it says. So with heavy truck traffic, and they break it down over 10 years, so every 10 years, you're going to rebuild that road. I think you got to talk to the Public Works Director and see what it's going to cost you. Because the deterioration of roadways is just what it is. We live in New England. They do deteriorate. And the roadway was built really good when it was rebuilt.
Mhm.
And it was posted back then, but the reason it was posted was because of the residents, the speed of the traffic at night, and the banging and slamming of tractor and trailers going up and down the roadway at all hours. And the one thing that hasn't been brought up, why do a lot of people use New Durham Road or Powder Mill Road? Why are they getting away from the traffic circle? Because DOT is set up in a traffic circle and they're ready to pull you right into the state shed and start going through you, and it's all over the CB. And everybody says, oh, there's alternate routes. Let's take them. It's been proven that's what's happened. As soon as DOT sat up, all of a sudden you saw tractor and trailers on Powder Mill Road. DOT set up. Now they're on Stockbridge Corner Road, and they're going across Coffin Brook Road. And I think Dave Hussey just mentioned how he got home one night, out through Coffin Brook Road, around through it, and came back around the other way. You're right. That's what they do. But a lot of it's just not the traffic in the traffic circle. It's a question mark of DOT, whether or not they're set up for inspections. And the other thing is whether or not the RSA states what it states. I could read it wrong. I'm not an attorney, but I think you got to read the RSA.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I did read the RSA's. The state gave me. And they say you can't close it down. So I don't know which one they're reading.
Oh, we're not closing it. We're limiting it.
You can't eliminate it. That's my opinion. Also, as far as the DOT in the corner and down here, there may be, I get a call. People call me up, say DOT's down in the circle. I park my truck. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know? But when you're coming from McKay's Pit, you do go the back way. You go all the way up. It's a shortcut. And that's what these through roads were made for.
Now, is that, you take the shortcut, is it because too many people on the other road or just too long to go?
No, they
around?
just, you know what McKay's Pit is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
you
I'm
come up
asking.
and you go right down Powder Mill Road. So
So it's just quicker.
it's just quick. You know, I mean, if it makes sense, if you're trucking from the Alton Pit, say to Ryan Heath. Ryan Heath is right at the end of Stockbridge, but he's not in Alton. That means you got to come out of the Alton Pit, go all the way down the circle, wait a half an hour to get the circle on weekends, go down to New Durham Road and come in that way. So we're throwing all our traffic on New Durham's roads when they haul down that way. It doesn't make sense. It's not a safety issue. And if it isn't a safety issue, if it is a safety issue, DOT says it has to be fixed. It has to be fixed.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Moss?
How you doing? Andrew Morse. We, us truck drivers, us with trucks in town, we pay a lot of taxes on vehicle taxes, state taxes, IRS taxes, all our overweight taxes. And we use them as cutoff roads to pits to get around, so we're not wasting time. Because nowadays we get a truck, and
Traffic's busy.
yeah. And yes, the DOT sometimes does sit down the circle, but that's not why I've trucked by them quite a bit. I wave to them right at my ad every time they go by and fuel up. It's the nature of the business. I believe it's more the GPS, what you're saying about Bay Hill and all the other roads. It's the GPS sending these trailers down these roads. Because obviously the one we're talking about, Stockbridge Corner Road, is cut off. So I don't know how you guys can fix that legally, if tractor trailers or what. I don't feel you guys should be shutting down the roads to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe Donald again. I do have one thing I wanted to add. I thought of, you also have to realize when you force these trucks to take the longer routes, that everybody that's doing work, that's paying taxes to have their land in this town, and they're having work done in their town, you're making them cost more to have that work done. Because they judge what they're gonna charge for a load by how far it's gotta go. So you're costing everybody money all the way around to not let them use roads that are supposed to be up to specs to be used. That's what they're there for.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah. Well, you gotta come up and get your paper anyways. No, it's up here on the table.
Is that your
Left it
paper?
up here on the
Your paper's
table,
up
yeah.
here.
Paper.
Is that yours?
The paper up on the table that you
Behind
left.
the
No, back
chair.
here, Dave.
Oh, I left the paper.
Yeah.
up here. Okay, I understand now. I guess I'm hearing like Ruben, mostly his problem is with tractor trailers. I'm not for shutting the road down at all. But so the local boys could at least haul. Maybe a compromise. You know, if Ruben's really worried about the tractor trailers going down here, why do we got to punish the local boys? And I just don't see that.
And that's why we're here, is to make a
Yeah.
compromise.
And also a homeowner. I gotta pay another $100 for a load because I gotta wait for them to get to me. It's not worth it. So anyhow.
Anybody else? Oh, Mr. Gordon.
Rob Gordon, I live in Alton Bay. I just have one question. Where does it end? Okay, so we go post, we say these roads are no longer to be used. When's 11D gonna happen? When's Roberts Cove Road gonna happen? When's Alton Mountain gonna get shut down? And I understand these are through roads, but we're just opening up a can of worms. Before you know it, you're not gonna be able to go anywhere and everybody's gonna have to post bonds or do whatever. Like Mr. Morse said, we all pay taxes up the yin yang, fees to the state, federal government for overweight permits, all these things. These roads are supposed to be built to a certain standard. All right, to be able to handle a truck at 73,000 pounds. All right, that's all I have to say. I just want to know where it ends. Because right now we go shutting down these 3 roads. When are the next 3 roads? Is that in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years? So it's more of a statement, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
What else? All right, I will close public hearing, board discussion.
Mr. Chairman, if I could. Never said that we would stop you from working on the roads. If you have a job, legitimate job on that road, you'll be able to go up and down that road with no problems. My main concern is Stockbridge Corner Road is not a through road. Even though it is not a through road for tractor trailers at 80,000 pounds, 108-inch wide trailer to miss out on 3 miles to 4 miles from Valley Road in New Durham to Dalton Traffic Circle. During the week, you're not putting that much more traffic on the circle. If we have that problem with the circle, we need to go back to the state and tell them to redesign it. Safety is my main issue. We do not have shoulders on Stockbridge Corner Road. So when you do meet 2 tractor trailers there, or even 2 10-wheelers, you are edge to edge. On 28 going south, there is shoulders. On 28 north, there's shoulders. On the old road of 28 going to Concord, it's wider though than what Stockbridge Corner Road lanes are. The town of Alton does not build roads to the state specs. We build them to minimum road standards of the town of Alton. We rehabilitate our roads, as Mr. Roberts said. I'll have to go back and look at the minutes of town meetings on how long ago it was. So it's going to be a good 40, 50 years to see where that was, as Mr. McDonald has stated. I still believe at least on the Stockbridge Corner Road and the Valley Road coming over to Stockbridge Corner Road should be shut off to tractor trailers with the help of New Durham, if New Durham says so, if they agree to it. And last winter, I do believe the selectmen said they would entertain that idea also. That's all I have to say on the issue, but I never said we would take away from people working on people's homes when they have a job on that road. I never said that.
So you're saying have the sign twisted to like locals only, local traffic only?
Wouldn't that be local traffic only? You would have to ask Ryan again, state statutes and the town attorney, if it can be shut off to tractor trailers or no semis. And I believe I've seen that in other communities. One is Woodsville, New Hampshire. They have 2 roads up there, no semis.
Yeah, I've seen it
Okay.
places, yeah.
But as far as folks working on it, as long as they have a job on it, they just say, I'm working here, put in a septic system. You can't stop them. We've already said that. We would never stop anybody from working on that road, even if it went to that point of putting 6-ton limit. So even though Bay Hill Road have a 6-ton limit, if one of those, Rob Gordon or Andrew Morse is working on Bay Hill Road, their trucks, we can't stop them because that'd be part of the policy.
But I would also be against the shutting even Stockbridge down to the local people. Even if Andrew's got to move a piece of equipment, he's got the tractor trailer low board. Local people. I mean, I think that the locals should be able to use any of our roads. Do I agree with the tractor trailers? Yeah, to a certain point, the ones that are hauling from Rochester to Concord or something, there's no reason why they can't come around it. But I would hate to see that road shut down to local people that work around here and stuff.
Myself, again, it's a safety issue. But at the same token, I know, and it's got to be in our minutes of a few months ago, the police department conducted a survey of traffic going through Stockbridge Corner Road and also Powder Mill Road, and they checked it out, and most of the traffic, if they were going over the speed limit, unfortunately, were locals. And it wasn't, and I don't mean trucks. I mean, it was mostly cars and local cars that were going speeding through the areas.
Right, because that study surprised me with Powder Mill Road at 37,000.
Yeah, it was mostly Powder Mill Road. There wasn't much on Stockbridge Corner.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what the study showed, that it was, that most of the local residents in cars or smaller trucks were actually speeding.
And I would like to say something, because this board keeps saying it's a safety issue. Stockbridge Corner, we have not had head-ons or people hit on that road. So, to say it's a safety issue, I don't think so. I think it's more of the complaints we're getting than it is safety. You haven't had the statistics out there to even say there's a safety issue.
Sharon?
Yes.
I think we're losing the fact here that these roads are all built to travel on. And now we're gonna limit it just to cars only? I don't think so.
Well,
Tractor trailers, I can understand that on this particular road, Stockbridge Corner. I can understand that. But the rest of your traffic, and if it's a safety reason, roads are made to travel on. They're not pedestrian roads. You can walk on them, but they're not made to walk on. Sidewalks are made to walk on. People buy a house out in the country, no sidewalks, the road's what it is. Tractor trailers, I understand they have a problem turning. Just the length of them. And side by side, so forth. I could see limiting to no tractor trailers. After that, a truck's a truck.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't think we should shut them. I mean, I'm okay with Bay Hill Road, but everybody pays taxes. Everybody's at danger when they go outside. I pull out of my driveway every day. It's a crapshoot whether I'm gonna live or die. So I mean, it's to shut the road down to guys that are trucking and trying to make a living and do that. Like you said, I think the roads are made to drive on. Yes, they do well. It's nobody's fault, whether it's spec or DOT sitting at traffic circle. The roads are made to be drove on. It is what it is. It's our job to upkeep the roads when they go to hell. Excuse my French, but it's not to put it back on these guys that are out there trying to make a living. So I will not vote for closing the roads now.
Like to see our local contractors continue to be able to use their livelihood and move with their trucks down our local roads. I do see an issue with tractor trailers going down some of these roads. Again, we discussed that with the other two roads. I think that my biggest issue would be tractor trailers on Stockbridge Corner Road, but I wouldn't want to restrict to any of our local contractors of using any of these roads. That's necessary for them to run their business.
Right. Do we have a motion?
First, Mr. Chairman, we have to see what New Durham's feelings are still with it. So we'd have to ask town administrator, contact the town administrator in New Durham.
Yeah, we can still make the motion though.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to limit no tractor trailers, Stockbridge Corner Road from the town of New Durham's line to 28.
On local traffic only.
If they're working out there on the road, they'd be able to transport
But
their
even
tractor
if-
trailer across.
To me, even if they're not,
That's my.
a local person that lives in this town that
You
pays
won't,
the
I
tax
don't
in this
believe
town
that's
should be
being
able to go
enforced. I
across
don't
it.
believe you'd be able to enforce it, saying locals could run a tractor trailer across it and somebody that's coming up with a car carrier from Michigan going across it wouldn't be able to use. I don't believe that would be enforceable. You could ask the police chief that, but I believe that way there you are discriminating against locals and somebody that's doing the same thing with the same truck.
And I would have to vote no. Get a second.
Chair, does that include Valley Road? Yes.
We have to- yeah.
Yes, Valley Road to be included in that.
So what's the motion?
Motion is to limit tractor trailer usage on Valley Road and Stockbridge Corner Road from the town line of New Durham.
To
228.
Well, that would have to be pending New Durham's.
Pending New Durham.
Pending New Durham's authorization of
Yep.
their.
All those in favor?
Who seconded
Aye.
that?
Nobody seconded.
Nobody second.
I'll second.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
You have a tie vote, 2-2.
No. No, because I can't see limited to locals not being able to use it. 3-2.
Well, let me,
3 no's, 2 yes.
can I clarify something?
Yes, absolutely.
What I said yes to was tractor trailers. I didn't say anything about locals. I just said a few minutes ago, I don't want to restrict any of our local businesses,
Right.
contractors.
Right, but that's not on the motion. That's not on the motion. That's the only reason I voted no, is because I
Okay,
cannot see
then-
shutting it down to locals.
I don't believe I can legally make that motion because I don't think that would.
Can
be
we-
Legally binding that you.
Then I
have.
have to,
They could
then I
if
have
one
to
group-
say no.
Can I have the town administrator check into it?
We have to check into it.
Can we get you to check into that? To see if we can have it, shut the road down to track trailers, but have locals be able to use it.
Would you tell them to quiet down, please?
Guys, we're in a meeting
And would you repeat that?
to have the town attorney look into it to see if we can shut it down to track trailers, but locals are allowed to use it for local traffic.
No, I think you're right on that. I don't think you can do that.
Okay. Well, let's. look
We're
into
gonna
it.
find
Find
out.
out.
Let's look into it.
There's been funnier things passed. Okay, I will shut the public hearing down. I will close public hearing on Stockbridge Corner. Moving on, assessors done. We will go back to Mr. Kidman for municipal trail parking area, Alton Mountain Road. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, you guys later. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I think we got a clue what we're doing.
I'll say that.
We are on the Alton Mountain Road, the municipal trail parking.
Yes, yeah, and I think at the last
Up to-
meeting, you came back for further information, which was, I believe in your packet. I know town administrator
Yes.
provided me with the information, also the agreement that was put together for that purpose. For Construction and maintenance of that area. And so I'm circling back around, asking to
I have a,
appears that maybe I didn't need to ask the permission, but they asked permission
Right.
anyways to complete that parking lot area.
now I got a question for you.
It was not completed.
How much of this we filling? We're not filling this whole, oh, we are.
No.
It's just this little corner on this one.
It's actually, you're looking at this picture here. The red line actually is what's actually coming back around. Actually, about midway, you can, corner here, there's an area there that's probably about, maybe 8 roughly, that just needs to be completed to be filled in.
How much fill we looking at?
I don't have a calculation for you, but probably end up being
2
probably
feet, 3
3 or
feet
4
deep?
Then wheel
Oh, that's it. Oh,
in there, and we'll use some rock that's up there on the road coming in to be able to stabilize, go with the slope, so we don't have any issues with the slope coming down towards the trees at the stone wall area. Yeah. All that fill for that would be actually through the ditching that would end up occurring coming up on Alton Mountain Road itself, from the dirt section up to Mr.
Julius.
Delenius driveway, that section there, class 5 road. There is a couple rocks that will be relocated, which are on the class 6 portion, which is leading into the parking lot. It would be removed because we do maintain that as per the agreement.
Right. Yep.
Turn around up there, and they're kind of some rain biters that are there. We'll utilize to clean that up and get that in good shape there and finalize that project so it will be done and just be a maintenance issue, and construction will be completed.
I know that a lot of our trail systems are very busy. Very busy. I think the
Very
little
much
bit
so.
more parking up there would help because it, Mr. Julius, nice stuff to let us put parking in there to get into the state trail system. And I think a little bit more to get the cars off the side of that road would help, and 4, 5, 10-wheeler loads ain't a lot. We need a vote.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, if I could,
Yeah,
I think your question was at the last meeting that you wanted the Conservation Commission to pay for this. It wasn't
I
us.
know.
If I believe that's what this all boiled down to, because otherwise we would have said, just go ahead and do it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, the way it is like Scott said, he didn't really have to come back and ask us permission. So I'm just saying, I don't even think you need a vote,
General consensus.
general consensus.
We already did that.
Yes.
Finance.
So I'm just saying at this point, it's really more the selectmen that's in charge of that than the Conservation Commission, and whatever it takes to get the job done, we need to get it done. Per the agreement with Mr. Julius.
okay.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you,
consensus.
Scott.
What's that?
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Sorry to make you wait.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Okay, that's all done. Now we go to second public input. Done?
I would say there's none.
We've talked about
Let's
it.
move on.
Wow.
Chairman, I make a motion to go in non-public session.
Look at a second.
Second. By the way,
Whatever.
need the RSA and everything.
No, no.
Administrators just sleep.
Some paperwork that goes along with that. I
If
think.
if you will agree with this, 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, small letter B, small letter D, and small letter E.
What happened?
BDE.
Make the
What happened to
motion.
A?
BDE. No way.
Just make,
But I'm aware.
Mr. Chair, make a motion to go in the non-public session on the RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2, small caps B, D, C, and E.
BDE.
E, excuse me.
I want to add,
See ya.
thank you. I want to add A.